Now I thought the Bill Gates. So I was like, oh, cool, Bill Gates, you know? And they said, no, it's not Bill Gates. It's because the front house is just for the servants. It's a place called Casa Del Mar, okay? And right over here, you guys are gonna see it. Now, it's a big horseshoe driveway. But keep in mind, the front house is just for the servants. Now, right here, you'll see it, right here to the right with the horseshoe thing. This front part is just for the servants. The real house is in the back. Yes, I know. I want to be this guy's servant. I will lovingly make him orange juice every morning. So that's bigger than my apartment. So, but yes, that is the Gates house. Now we're going to be getting out of Kahala here, and we're going to be heading over to the freeway and over toward Hawaii Cut. But if we decided to go straight right here, this would take you right into the Kahala Resort, which we're not going to be doing today. Now, right here on the corner, you see this tree with the crazy roots? That is called a hala tree. That's what the Hawaiians call it. Now, the English name for it is actually a screw pine. And why, I don't know, because it doesn't look like a pine at all. But the nickname for it is a walking tree because of the legs. The roots look like legs. So that's why they call it the walking tree. But this is very important to the Hawaiian people. Why? Because the leaves on it, the really long leaves on it, those are what they use to make the really beautiful Hawaiian woven hats. Okay, so basically what they do is they get those leaves when they're dried out and fallen off, and they'll on the edges of them are like spines, little pokies, and what they'll do is they'll cut off those edges, and then they'll get the leaf and they'll roll it up really tight with a bunch of other leaves, and then they'll let it sit for like a month so that it keeps that shape. And then once it keeps that shape, they'll unwind it, they'll clean them off really good of any dirt or anything like that, and then they'll use the back of a knife down both sides, both lengths of that leaf to kind of soften the leaf so that it's more pliable. And that's what they'll use. They'll cut it into strips, and that's what they'll use to make those really beautiful Hawaiian woven hats. Now, if you see one of these things, I highly recommend getting one, only because it is a dying art. Those hats take anywhere from 1 to 2 days to make one hat, and they're all handmade. Okay, so there's a reason. You know, they're not cheap, but they are beautiful hats. And it's like I said, it's a dying art, so who knows how long it's gonna stick around to be able to get one. So definitely, if you do see one by chance, you know, I would recommend picking one up. Now, right here next to us on the right, this is the Kahala Golf Course, and the Kahala Golf Course is one of the premier golf courses here on the island. We have about 20 different golf courses, but the really premier golf course is over at Turtle Bay, and that's the one where you'll see the televised golf tournaments. It's normally over at Turtle Bay, and actually that is one of the ones that we normally pass on the tour, because that's on that road that goes all the way to the other side of North Shore. But we are going to be skipping that today only because of this road closure. Okay, but definitely if you ever get a chance to go to Turtle Bay, or even go to vacation, it is a beautiful place to stay at there. But coming up right in front of us, this is Hawaii Lower Ridge and Aina, and these are just very family oriented neighborhoods. Average home price is anywhere between $800,000 and $1 million for like a smaller house. For a bigger house, anywhere between $1 to $3 million on average. Okay, but the housing market here is pretty pricey. Even this last year alone, it had gone up 20%. So yeah, it's very, very pricey here, and I'm sure other places are pricey too, but our prices just don't seem to have a cap. So they just keep on going up. My mom and dad, they bought a house out on the west side of the island, which is really cheaper on the other side. They bought it 20 something years ago, and it was only $219. Now they had the home recently appraised, and it's over $600,000. So yeah, it's constantly going up, But that's a little bit about that. Now, like I said, we're going to go in and out of different information today, and today is really designed to give you guys a snapshot of the island, different places to go, food to eat, a little bit about the culture, the Hawaiian people, where they came from, and also the history part of it when we come down to the Iolani Palace later on when we go back toward Waikiki. So we're going to see the Iolani Palace, the Kamehameha statue, and also the Kauai Church. Okay, so these are all different things that we're going to be doing today. And as we're going around, we are going to see a good portion of the normal tour, but we are going to have to make that little detour because of the road closure when we get up by Kualoa Ranch. All right, but we'll start off with where did the Hawaiians come from, and who here knows how to properly say our state's name? Yes, this is group participation. I'm that teacher that won't shut up. So who here knows how to properly say our state's name?
Hawaii.
What was it?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
No, E.
All right. Everyone else is going. The ticket said Hawaii, right? Well, okay. The correct way to pronounce our state name is Hawaii. Hawaii, exactly. It is not Hawaii, and I'll explain why. The reason why is because Hawaii is not an English word.
Yeah.
It is a Hawaiian word. Okay, and in the Hawaiian language there's only 13 letters, and when you have a W in any Hawaiian word that's not the first letter of that word, it is pronounced like a V, like Victor. So it is Hawaii, not Hawaii. Okay, so when you guys all get home to your nosy neighbors that ask too many questions, and they always ask you the same thing, did you guys go to Hawaii? And you're gonna say no. I went to Hawaii, and Uncle Kimo made sure I knew why. Okay, so, but yes, it is Hawaii, not Hawaii. Okay, so now, a little bit about the history. Now, the Hawaiian people, they have something called the Polynesian Triangle. Now, the Polynesian Triangle goes all the way from the top on the islands of Hawaii. It goes all the way down to the corner with the islands of Rapa Nui, which is Easter Island, and then all the way to the other corner, which is New Zealand. That is the Polynesian Triangle, and it includes all of the different islands within that triangle, which is a couple of different, like 1,000 islands. Okay, but that is what the Polynesian Triangle is. Now, when they had first come here, was somewhere right around 300 to 600 AD. They don't know for sure. This is best guess based on historical facts and stuff that have been found here on the islands with other people. Now, between 300 and 600 AD, they had come here to the islands, but they were not new. They didn't just develop ears and everything. They had been here for thousands of years.